He was a loving, knowledgeable, real man.
He's a man of integrity.
One of the brightest men and physicians I've ever met.
He was our chief, our mentor.
A very kind man and a gentleman.
People talk about how good Gerald was and how great he was and what a great partner he was. You have no idea what a decent human being this man was.
I think people describe it as a mensch.
Dr. Shafter was trained at a time when the echocardiogram didn't exist. Cardiologists learned the heart based on what they could do with their hands and what they could do with their stethoscopes.
I learned from him that God gave you 2 ears and a mouth for a reason. You should use your ears to listen, not only with the stethoscope, but listen to what the patients were saying.
At the time, we called it human ecology, which was understanding the human being in light of the whole context that they're in, not just their illness, but their society, their family, their occupation, what role they occupy in the community.
He started the residency program here in 1976, and many of them are still here today as attendings.
He was the draw of the students. They recognized, obviously, his ability as a clinician and as a teacher.
He was instrumental at Rainbow Hospice and Palliative Care to help us create our Life Institute for learning. Long after he's gone, we have our Life Institute because of Dr. Shafter.
He established programs that educated physicians who therefore were also able to take care of other patients and affect other families. And that multiplier effect goes on to this day. He is one of those pebbles thrown into the lake with the circles coming out. I think that we haven't seen the end of it yet.
He not only provided leadership, but also at the same time provided the on-the-ground teaching that residents and students need.
You know, I remember Gerald starting one thing with the first group of residents. He found out that they were ordering all sorts of weird diets for patients. So he said, you know what, we're going to have every week, we're going to go downstairs to the dining room and we're going to have a kind of meal that you have ordered for your patients so you know what you're ordering for your patients. And let me tell you, that salt-free diet really shook them up a lot. They began to think about what they were ordering, you know, instead of just automatically ordering salt-free, this free, that, but they had to taste it. They had to see what it was like.
And I think that was one of the keys to Gerald. He always was soft-spoken, but made his point very clearly.
The resident rounds, they were called Shafter rounds.
We used to make rounds with a little suitcase that had 8 stethoscopes, and he would put it in his ear and we would put it in our ears, and we would go to the bedside and listen, and he would take the time and he would ask people questions.
He was so truly interested in what the patient had to say, so truly interested in what the house staff had to say about the patient, and his corrections were so gentle.
He was always a teacher, and it didn't matter if you were a housekeeper or a transporter or nursing staff, whatever.
Continually educating them about the monitors, about the tracings, and he was just very instrumental in nursing education.
He also showed us, through his own actions, how to respect the nursing staff and their ideas, thoughts, and abilities to care for patients.
I think about him often when I'm dealing with residents, and how are they learning and are they being taught the way he taught us.
It's the questioning attitude, the challenging, the evidence-based practice. All of these were things that Gerald brought to this institution and promoted.
And I hope that we as a group are successful in honoring his memory.
The Dr. Gerald Shafter Endowment, it's a perfect way to celebrate his legacy.
Every time I see a picture of Gerald, I smile. There is something about Dr. Shafter that will always inspire me, and so in many ways, the lessons that we've learned from him will be with me forever.
Dr. Shafter is certainly missed here. On the other hand, what he established here carries on.